Hey friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Come With Me. We're actually going to the cinema today. I'm so excited. I'm gonna go see Firestarter. I'm a little bit worried. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit apprehensive, and that's okay. That's good to go in with lower standards or just average standards. I have seen part of this trailer, and it does have a very different vibe to the original film. So, number one, if you don't know who I am, hi, my name's Emma. I have a channel here on YouTube where every single week I talk about horror movies, thrillers, giving you a lot to put on your to watch list. And the aim of these videos are to take you along with me. If you want to pause when you watch it, you can do so, but take you along with me and let you know whether the film would be good for you by describing it without spoiling it, letting you know whether it will suit your personal taste. So today we're going to go check out Firestarter with Zac Efron. So this is, I think, another adaptation of Firestarter, which was a Stephen King book. This was made into a movie. The movie in the 80s has some pretty big names. Obviously Drew Barrymore, Martin Sheen, George C. Lewis, Louise Fletcher, and David Keith as the father. There's a lot going on, and yeah, big cast. So very interesting to see Zac Efron play the father in this one. If you don't know, Firestarter is about a little girl who has these powers. It's in the title what she can do. I don't think it's a spoiler at all. She has some powers, and it's just about her controlling those powers. But what I've seen in the trailer, which isn't too much, looks like it's during a different time of her life, because in the original film, it's more based on her as a child, and a lot of it has to do with being inside like a science facility, experimenting on her and things like that, where this one, it looks like she's in high school, maybe? So very different. And also in the original, the dad is so disheveled and I mean, he's gone through a lot, but yeah, Zac Efron was looking pretty spicky in the trailer for the new one. So I do think that they're going to be different. So that's why I wonder if it's just based on the book. I don't know how different the book is to the original, so please let me know down in the comments. But I'm going to go into it with fresh eyes and check it out. I just finished watching the original Firestarter again. I just had to rewatch it to get it fresh in my mind, and now I'm really excited to see what they're going to do and what they're going to do differently. So I think I've covered everything. We're going to go see it in a very quiet cinema, which I'm very excited about. No people. I'm going really early in the day to try and beat the crowds. So let's go check out Firestarter, and I'll let you know whether it's worth taking the trip out to the cinema, because this one isn't just in cinemas from now. It's actually on VOD, so you can watch it on Peacock if you're in America. So I'll let you know whether it's worth the trip to the cinema. Let's go. Today I'm walking to the cinema, so it'll be a little bit of a different experience, but also, of course, it starts raining as soon as I walk outside. It's getting to winter here in Australia. It's in autumn, but it got really cold just overnight, so it must be quite jarring for some of you. Hi friends, I just finished watching Firestarter. I did walk home only because I thought, you know what, I can do something really cheeky in the cinema and actually film the start of this, the end clip of my video, me actually reacting to the film. When the lights went on, the cleaner was right next to me. So there was no hope doing that, but I wanted to. I did think about it. But I walked home to get out of the rain and the wind, and now I have the displeasure of explaining to you what I just witnessed. I mean, let's start off by saying the original Firestarter is not the best film. It is not. It is not. It's a bit clunky. It's a little bit strange. But that's what we love about it, you know? The performances are key in that as well. And we listed off all of the actors in it. And besides Martin Sheen, they do pretty good. But this film, what happened? Nothing happened. The film does follow pretty closely the original storyline, but it does switch up something towards the end on the third act. And where do I start? Here, I'll paint you a little picture. As the movie starts, so does soft music. Within the first 20 seconds, you see Zac Efron's abs twice, no shirt on. I'm not complaining about that. It's just the fact I'm going to a horror movie. You know what I mean? It's not the time nor the place, Zac. Get your shirt back on. We've got business to do. The movie has this very strange, like soft, I don't know, touchy-feely thing about it when the original story is based on experiments and, you know, mutant powers. Just felt very strange to have those aspects meshed together. So the film does follow a family who are dealing with their young daughter who has a gift. I don't want to go back too much into the mother and father because if you haven't seen the original Firestarter, I'm just going to leave it up to you to experience, like as to why and the origin story. But in this one, she is a little bit older, but she's in what we call in Australia primary school. I think it's called grade school in some places. So she is a bit older than Drew, and she is going through this whole thing about trying to suppress her powers, but they always come out. And then, you know, she goes through this journey with her family after something horrific happens, and that's about it. The ending, it was so lackluster and so strange and not epic at all. They really phoned it in. I'm so surprised. I had a feeling it wasn't going to be great, but I thought it was just going to be meh, but it's actually a bad movie. The dialogue is cringy and strange, like laugh out loud strange. The characters are very odd. And there's no chemistry between any of the actors. You feel like they're reading a script, and it's very strange. And as I was saying before, the stylization of these beautiful glowy parts with their family and the soft music, and then they have this rigid edge, which when the titles come in, they show like the origin kind of story, and it's all about experiments and stuff. It's like almost found footagey, doesn't really go with the rest. And then of course, let's talk about how he made the film. So Keith Thomas directed this film, and he did The Vigil, which is an amazing film. If you haven't seen it, it's so different to this, and it's so unique. So very strange. I know obviously this is a remake, so it's not going to be unique in that aspect, but I do think that they could have flipped. I don't know, I think they could have done something with it, you know? At least, yeah, stand for something instead of falling for everything. And then of course, I know some of you are probably screaming at this video. I did know that John Carpenter did the music for this, and you can hear his whole presence, but he does not suit, like it did not suit his presence because it was this soft, strange, really, I don't know, in a way, maybe it worked because it feels so cheesy. It could be 80s at some points, but it's very obviously a modern film. Like they refer to Netflix in it and things like that. So it just is a very messy film that not much happens. If you've seen the original, there is no real point to this film, which is really sad to say. And it also had some interesting aspects they did change in it, but it was really strange because they tried to kind of stand behind several different messages. They talked about the evil news that doesn't tell, you know, the right story, fake news, all that kind of stuff. There's like several different things in there about, you know, the girl coming into herself and them talking about bad people and what people really deserve and what they don't deserve. And it's a little bit muddied with all of these different avenues it could take. I feel like there was no focus in the film. It was just jolting off every single which way. And all of the baddies were just, there was it felt like a 20-minute conversation between two people. that was meant to be like menacing and scary with this guy, and he's doing something that he's like fidgeting while he's talking, and it's just it's meant to be menacing, it's meant to be scary, but it feels so manufactured, and I feel like that's what it is. It's just this film that has no organic flow and feel, where in the original Firestarter, it is, you know, the dad's really, as I said before, disheveled, and it's almost relating his whole history to trauma and addiction, and in this one, it feels very different. They kind of try and do it with Zac Efron, but it just doesn't get all the way there. They don't really focus on one aspect. Instead, they're trying to hit all of these strange, almost tropes that feels like to me is what they believe horror lovers like. I picked up so many weird things during this film. One thing I did like was they did this whole kind of warp effect when there was fire or it was getting hot, so you could see the heat, kind of like a mirage, and I thought that was a really interesting aspect, and I think that was done really well to show texture. But then there was other things that they showed detail in, including, I don't know if it was just the lighting. I know that obviously all actors wear makeup, but you could really see the young girl, Charlie, you could see the makeup on her face, and that was a little bit strange. You could see her wearing like bright lipstick during the film. Let me know if anyone else sees that. I was just taken out by so many different things that it didn't feel like I was watching a story. It felt like I was watching a scripted, obviously that's what I was watching, but it was very obviously scripted. There was no flow, there was no tension, and just no direction. It was like this weird, moody and warm feel that's quite modern and you see on TV, injected into this story that it didn't fit into, and it just didn't work. I have to say, I did go into it with hopes. I thought, hey, you know what? Zac Efron with his shirt off, we're gonna have some fun. But I was very quick to pick up the fact that they were using time and pacing this film out in a very strange way, where they would have to shift the end of the film, in which they did. There's really no payoff, and it makes you feel like you've wasted a lot of your time on this film, and I kind of do feel like I wasted my time. I am going to recommend again seeing this one in the cinema. Unless you want to go with some friends and watch Zac Efron, that's totally up to you, but if you do want to watch it on Peacock, but I would highly recommend checking out the original first and then watching them back to back. But I would highly recommend just watching the original, to be honest. And I'm not even a huge fan of the original. I think I gave it a 6 out of 10. But this film, I don't know how else to tell you. This movie did not work for me. I would love to hear your opinions if you have seen Firestarter, and I hate coming on here and ragging on films. It's not what I like to do. It's the worst part of what I do, to be honest. I'm going to give this film a 4 out of 10. I really could not wait for it to end. Nothing happened. Nothing happened in this film. Bad guys talking to each other, just something that shouldn't be wasting the time and the energy. There was a little bit of gore, and there was very strange gore as well that again didn't fit. For originality, I'm gonna give, it's hard for this one because yeah, I guess it's original, but it's based on a book, and then there's a remake, so let's just give it a 5 in the middle, because we've seen it. And for scare, 2, or maybe a 3. I was surprised by some of the gore they had. I thought that was cool. Obviously, they went there with the fire, but there was really strange scene in there. Something she does that is very unexpected, I guess. So bravo for that, but just didn't fit, which feels like this whole film. It just doesn't fit. Anyway, I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I hope that this didn't kill your mood. But let me know if you've seen Firestarter. If you plan to see it, let me know down below what you think. And I will talk to you all very soon for another video, hopefully a little bit more lighthearted. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye, friends.